Well, before I start with my topic, your Nation of Domination topic was spot on. But now, on to the topic you gave me. The 2001 WWF, WCW, ECW Invasion storyline. For those of you that don't know, the WWF at that time, /E now, bought ECW and WCW in 2001. And I thought the invasion storyline could have been better. We really didn't have no big names. I mean, we had our Diamond Dallas Pages, we had our Mike Awesomes, but we didn't have no Scott Steiner, no Sting, none of the big names from WCW or ECW for that matter. I thought the invasion storyline was a good storyline for the time. But there's something that has always bothered me about that storyline. The merge. From the merge with WCW and ECW, Shane and Stephanie being in charge, and Paul Heyman basically being outed. It didn't make any sense, honestly. I mean, yeah, ECW and WCW had everything to gain. Well, not really, because the WWF, everyone knew that the WWF owned ECW and WCW. And this was a way, and I will admit, Stephanie and Shane, they did a phenomenal job in their roles. We had the insurrection. No, it was the invasion pay-per-view, which was a good pay-per-view, but there wasn't many matches that I didn't like about it. The only match I would have to argue with is Dick Patrick Hebner. But back to the merger. I think that Austin in heel again was a plus, because Austin was he was a WCW guy, then an ECW guy for a while, then WWF, and as the old cliche goes, the rest is history. So it made sense for Austin to lead the alliance. What I had a problem with about the Alliance is that I think instead of Shane and instead of Stephanie, I think that they should. I don't. First off, and I've been trying to get past this point, but I just can't resist saying it. The invasion storyline was all about the McMahons. You had Stephanie McMahon, Linda McMahon, Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon. Now, the invasion storyline was a good way of giving past wrestlers TV time. And it's not like any of them were out of their prime. I mean, Austin was as hot as he ever was. Well, I'm not actually going to say... Well, it's too late to take that back because I already said it. But Austin as a heel worked. But I feel that it would have made more sense for, like, okay, have The Undertaker leave the WWF. Have ECW be led by Paul. Since we're going with wrestlers here, Tommy Dreamer. I was going to say Paul Heyman, but Heyman would be a good manager. So here's what I would have done if I was a booker. This is my fantasy booking. Okay. You have Vince McMahon managing the WWF. You have Undertaker leading the charge. Then for WCW, you would have John Laurinaitis managing WCW, and not only that, but you would have Ric Flair leading the charge against the WWF. Then you have, well, against the WWF and WCW. No, I'm in ECW. WCW can't go to war with itself. So then you would have Paul Heyman managing ECW. And you would have the heart and soul of ECW, Tommy Dreamer, leading the charge. Then you would have a three-way war. No merger needs to happen. That was my... And Stephanie and Shane don't need to get involved. And I would bring Eric Bischoff in, but I think Eric Bischoff would refuse, honestly, because he didn't come in until 2002. So And it was a good storyline. The stars in it. Well, let me name some of the stars real quick. The WWF, you had The Undertaker, Kane, um, Ron Simmons, JBL, aka Bradshaw at that time. The Rock. Now for some WCW guys, which I'm not going to enjoy because as much as I want to say Scott Steiner or a Sting, it's not happening. So Hugh Morris, aka Bill DeMont. Booker T. Okay.
Hey, how are you? How you doing, Gwen?
Rick was involved.
Gwen runs a small private zoo, and we take care of some of her animals. Last time I saw Gwen, she came in with an owl. Now she has her Great Dane Celine with her. She's a big girl. She is. So, Celine, she's very excited to be here. We've had her. I mean, is she like lay around like this all the time? Yeah, she's very attached. She's very needy. A better way to say it. She would like to get in my lap, and then she's a lap dog.
I can't think of any more WCW stars, honestly. The names that are circling through my mind are big names like a Sting or a
Pretty squishy and movable. Yeah, so it could be a big dermal cyst, you know,
or
like the skin cells.
or a Scott Steiner. Oh, Buff Bagwell.
What are my options on moving that? Because of the location, it being slightly tight area, I want to make sure that we get it closed.
Diamond Dallas Page. Now for some ECW stars. Who do we have? We have Rob Van Dam. Taz. Mike Awesome. The Dudley Boys.
Anesthesia can be extremely scary, especially when you have experience that is not favorable.
Rhino. So yeah, we had. I'm tired of listing stars from all three brands. So if we had a three-way war, we would see no defections. Well, we could, but I think the Invasion storyline, well, it was cool, but it was also a hot mess. And think about it, AOL AOL screwed over the wrestling fans because when WCW was bought out, stars like Scott Steiner and Sting, they were sitting at home getting a paycheck because their contract was still, they were still under contract. But I think that there should have been no merger. I think it should have been a three-way war. So, wrestling for fans. Before I forget, first I want you to do a response. And in that same video, I want you to... I've been thinking about wrestling topics. And I got one. I want you to talk about, your topic is WCW WCW's Dungeon of Doom. I'll be waiting to hear from you. I'm Hardcore Christopher. Keep it hardcore, everyone.